Hello, this is Arnold. In this chapter, we'll be talking about cycloplegic refraction. Okay, let's proceed. So before we'll get into the cycloplegic refraction, let's get to know what is cycloplegia. So, cycloplegia, it is the paralysis of the ciliary muscle of the eye, resulting in the loss of visual accommodation or the capability of the lens to change shape. Accommodation is the ability of the lens to change its refractive power to view the near objects clearly. Okay? It is brought by the contraction of the ciliary muscles. Okay? So if mag-contract ang ciliary muscles, muna siya ang accommodated. Okay? Muna siyang accommodated or meiosis or mag-constrict. Whereas if relax naman ang ciliary muscle mo na siya ang relaxation or the mydriasis, okay? So, it changes the refractive power of the lens. So in this relaxed state, we will have the 19 diopters according to a one source. And for the accommodated naman, we have the 23 diopters, okay? So range ni siya ha, range, okay? Depende na siya sa case sa patient. Okay? Okay, let's proceed with the cycloplegics. So what are cycloplegics? These are the agents causing cycloplegia. Cycloplegics inhibit the action of the acetylcholine on the effector site innervated by the autonomic nerves. Okay? Ako ni siya na-discuss kanina ang acetylcholine which are responsible for the contraction of the muscles. So if na-inhibit to ang mga contractors of muscles, so naturally, ma-relax niya ang muscles. So they also block the muscarinic receptor sites. They are also called the anti-muscarinics or cholinergic antagonist, which I will be discussing later on. And we have here the parasympathetic action of the eye. So it states here that the pupil size is determined predominantly by the varying degree of the parasympathetic innervations to the sphincter muscles. So ang sphincter muscles ang responsible for the parasympathetic innervations. So unsa may gamitan ng sphincter muscles mo ni siya ang constrict sa eye, di ba? Sa pupil, di ba? Mo ni siya constrict. The contraction of the sphincter muscle caused the constriction of the pupil. Naraman din nga rin, constriction of the pupil. The innervation to the ciliary body caused contraction of the ciliary muscle to induce accommodation. So, since ang sphincter muscle is makakause yung constriction sa pupil, is mag-innervate ang ciliary body. And when there is innervation to the ciliary body, maka-induce siya og accommodation. The degree of the parasympathetic innervations to the sphincter of the iris and the ciliary muscle is governed by the impact of the pupillary reflex, the light reflex, and the near reflex. So the pupillary reflex, okay? So naturally, when the eye is kanang ma-shown siya og light, ma-shine siya og light, is it triggers the parasympathetic nervous system, which then constricts the pupil. As for the light reflex naman, we have this as our preliminary test. We have the direct and the consensual, di ba? For the direct, when you are shining the light directly into one eye, it activates the parasympathetic pathway, which in turn constricts the pupil in that eye. As for the consensual naman, although not directly siya pagka suga, the other pupil also constricts. Why? That is because due to the connections within the brainstem. Bali, connected ra na sila duha. And then we have the neuroflex. Again, for the triad of neuroflex, we have actually three because triad man. So first is the accommodation, constriction, or the meiosis, and then the convergence. So, since naman siya ay constriction, which belongs to the parasympathetic innervation, so, maka-impact ni sila tulo. Kini sila tulo, pupillary reflex, light reflex, and near reflex. So, mo ni sila ang maka-apekto siya sa how how the ciliary muscle and the sphincter of the iris functions. Next is parasympathetic action in the eye. So, muna siya ang illustrations. So, sa pupillary constriction, whenever there is bright light, ang sphincter pupillae nato kay mag-contract mo ng ginatawag nato na parasympathetic innervation. So, mo-contract ni ang sphincter pupillae. So, mugamay ang pupil. For the pupillary dilation naman, when there is low light or no light, the dilator pupillae, which is responsible for the mydriasis, contracts. So that is what we call the sympathetic innervation. So mo bukas siya ang itsura sa ato pupil. So these are the other actions that the parasympathetic nerves versus the sympathetic nerves describes. So sa parasympathetic again, constrict siya. Ang sa sympathetic is dilate pupil. So again, ang parasympathetic is mo ni siya ang rest and digest, while ang sympathetic is ang muna siya ang uh, fight or flight. Okay? So next is our cholinergic receptors. So the cholinergic receptors in human eye have been found in the iris, sphincter, and the ciliary body. Okay? So it is of muscarinic type na siya ang cholinergic nato. Other is nicotinic receptor mainly found in the skeletal muscles. So there are 5 subtypes of the muscarinic receptors, which are the M1 to M5, have been identified. The muscarinic agonist action at the receptor constricts the pupil. Okay? Ang muscarinic ang responsible sa pag-constrict sa pupil, contracts the ciliary muscles and in general lower the IOP. So, nganong ato manigi pang discuss ang cholinergic, parasympathetic na ang ato man gikuan nga kay ang cycloplegics man, which is responsible for the mydriatics and cyclopedia nganong nag-talk about man taning mga parasympathetic. It is because if there is inhibition of these receptors, kining mga cholinergic receptors, by the cholinergic antagonist, induce the following, which are the pupillary dilation and paralysis of accommodation. In other words, our cyclopedia. So, nagamit ang terms na antagonist o agonist kung inyo na bantayan. So, gitawag ni siya cholinergic antagonist kay ni against siya sa kining muscarinic agonist, which is responsible for the constriction of the pupil. So kung iya nag-inhibit ang kining muscarinic agonist na naanhi, which is responsible for constriction, so natay pupillary dilation o kining sa paralysis of accommodation. Okay? Okay, so here is an illustration for the difference between the adrenergic agonists and the cholinergic agonists. So for the adrenergic agonist, which is also known as the fight or flight or our sympathetic, and the cholinergic is our rest and digest or our parasympathetic. So makita ninyo nga rin na sa adrenergic agonists, so ang ato ra timailhan nga rin kay kuan adre. So naman ti word na adrenaline, di ba? Belonging man na siya sa kuan sa sympathetic kay fight or flight man na siya. So ang kining adrenergic agonist ginatawag sa ni siyag sympathomimetics. So bali, unsay pasabutan ning sympathomimetics? Iya gina mimic or gina-imitate ang sympathetic system. So if sympathetic siya kay unsa tong sympathetic? Okay, dilate pupil siya. So na siya pupil dilation or mydriasis. If naay pupil dilation kay tungod na siya sa ciliary muscle relaxation mao nang nagka pupil dilation. Okay, ang kining adrenergic agonist is the same ra ni siya og mode of action sa kining cholinergic antagonist. Okay, so ang antagonist, cholinergic antagonist, bali mo kontra daw siya sa kining, mo kontra siya aning cholinergic agonist. So if mo kontra siya aning cholinergic agonist, para sa ako giingon kanina, ang cholinergic, di ba mo man siyang for constriction. So kung iyan nag-inhibit, kay maga pupil dilation sad siya, maga pupil dilation o kining ciliary muscle relaxation. So, mo nang ang other term aning cholinergic antagonist is our parasympatholytics. Okay, di ba ang sa gitawag siya og parasympatholytics is because against siya, di ba? Against siya sa kining cholinergic agonist which is also known as our parasympathetic system. So, parasympatho meaning katong sa parasympathetic nya lytics meaning breakdown. So bali in a sense ang other other term ani kay iya gina-breakdown ang katong parasympathetic nato. So mo nang makakuan gihapon siya mag-induce og pupil dilation. Okay, sa other eye na sad ta. So we have here adrenergic antagonists. Okay? So these are sympatholytics. So bali against siya sa sympathetic system. If against siya sa sympathetic system, kuan siya pupil constriction or meiosis. Because ang sa sympathetic system again is for dilation. If against siya sa dilation, magka-constrict siya. So it is also responsible for the ciliary muscle contraction. Okay? And then, the same ra na siya sa cholinergic agonists, which is also known as the parasympathomimetics. Mimetics ni dapat na sipyat ni siya. Mimetics na. It is because iya gi-imitate or gimimic ang parasympathetic system which is responsible for the rest and digest and which is responsible for the pupil constriction. Okay, we're done with these terms, the difference between adrenergic and the cholinergic. Basta adrenergic, unya agonists, kay basta adrenergic kay adrenaline, so sympathetic na siya ha. Okay, next is our cycloplegic refraction. So ato na ni siya i-combine, ato na learn. So cycloplegic refraction, it is indicated in individuals whose total refractive error does not manifest in the course of a subjective non-cycloplegic refraction. It is also indicated in young patients who demonstrate any ocular motility, kanang mga lihok og mata. So what are the indications for cycloplegic refraction? We have the accumulative esotropia of any age, all children under 3 years old, suspected latent hyperopia, katong mga hyperopia na kanang mga tago or ni kanang na kanang na-compensate tungod sa ciliary, suspected pseudomyopia, mga myopia na fake, then uncooperative patients, non-communicative patients, variable and consistent response in subjective refraction, pwede sa diri ang malinggiring, suspected hysterical amblyopia. Hysterical amblyopia is also known as the functional amblyopia, which means na kanang maglisod na gyud siya kita or very low ang iya VA. Then we have the strabismic children and patient whose symptoms seem unrelated to the nature or degree of manifest refractive error. So, what are the contraindications? Ang mga uh, dili ta pwede maka-cyclo. So, patient with history of angle closure glaucoma and Down syndrome, particularly atropine. So, dili ta pwede makahatag og atropine sa kining Down syndrome, okay? Ngano? Nga naman because it is believed na ang sa atropine kay mas dugay ang midriasis sa naay ing ani na condition. Then let's talk about the cycloplegic agents. So you have here the cholinergic antagonists. So, unsay pasabot aning cholinergic antagonists? So, against siya sa cholinergic. Unsay cholinergic? Muna siya ang parasympathetic. Okay? So, against siya ni. So, currently, there are 5 midriatic cycloplegic cholinergic antagonists are available for topical use, which are the atropine sulfate, the homatropine hydrobromide, the scopolamine hydrobromide, the cyclopentolate hydrochloride, and the tropicamide. So let's tackle this one by one. For the atropine, this is from the plant Atropa belladonna. This was the only available drug for midriasis and cycloplegia in the 1950s. It produced midriasis that lasts for 10 to 10 days, and it exhibits poor midriasis while sustaining complete paralysis of accommodation. So very good news siya as cycloplegic because it can sustain complete paralysis of accommodation. Pero wala lang kay siya midriasis, okay? Midriasis and paralysis of accommodation are two different things, okay? So what are the clinical use for this atropine? So it is often used for cycloplegic refraction in young actively accommodating children with suspected latent hyperopia or accommodative esotropia. So accommodative esotropia, mo ni siyang mga esotropia na tungod kay kusog maka-accommodate mo na lang nagka-eso siya. So need sad ni siya para maka-determine if ang esotropia is due to the accommodation. Nice ni ang atropine. It is not typically used for the routine cycloplegic refraction in school-age children or adults. So, nganong dili man siya typically used for school-age children or adults? It because na ang kining atropine among the 5 kay taas-taas ang iya paghawa sa kining midriasis and sa paralysis. So, magiging inconvenience siya sa school-age children or adults. Labi na sa school age kanang mga mag-studies or sa adults sa ilang mga works. So, dili kay ni siya typically used, okay? Then we have the homatropine. 1/10 as potent sa atropine. 1/10 lang iya potent. It has shorter duration of midriasis and cycloplegia. So it is not the drug of choice for the cycloplegic refraction because of its prolonged midriatic and cycloplegic action. Contradicting siya, no? Shorter duration daw siya nga ri, pero nga ri kay because of prolonged midriatic. Okay. Ang kining shorter duration is compared ni siya sa atropine. Just because na shorter siya compared sa atropine doesn't mean nga kanang dali na siya. So, prolonged gyapon siya. Then we have the scopolamine. It is derived from Hyoscyamus niger, indicated for cycloplegic retinoscopy only as a substitute to atropine-sensitive patients. So, ang kining scopolamine kay ihatag na siya as substitute sa at sa atropine if sensitive. If sensitive sila sa atropine, okay? Then we have the cyclopentolate. It is the agent of choice in nearly all age group, especially infants and young children. It has a faster onset of action and shorter duration of effect, equally effective as atropine in the case of older children. So it is recommended in the pedia na subject na 2 drops of 1% cyclopentolate separated by 3 to 5 minutes with punctal occlusion. Ang say punctal occlusion mo na siya ang imo i-block ang imo part sa punctum para dili mag-drain ngadto, di ba? Ang drug na imo ibutang. Then we have 1 drop of 0.5 to 1% cyclopentolate can be used in infants under 1 year of age. So, mas gamay ang concentration na ihatag nato sa under 1 year of age and also 1 drop lang. Okay? The next is our tropicamide. It is used primarily for pupil dilation. So, if ang pupil dilation na nga to pinaka-main na gipangita is recommended ng tropicamide, it has rapid onset and quickly diminished, available in 0.5 and 1% for our kuan sa ato DPI sa under RA 8050 na gi-approve. 0.5% ra ang ato mahatag. It is considered inadequate for children cycloplegia. Okay. Inadequate siya. So here is the table for the 5 drugs that I have mentioned with its concentration ranges, with its peak mydriasis, along with the mydriasis recovery, peak cycloplegia, and cycloplegia recovery. Sige. So as you can see here sa atropine, kay siya ang pinakataasan og mydriasis recovery and cycloplegia recovery. So dugay-dugay jud siya. Mawagtang ang effect. Followed by the scopolamine, the homatropine, cyclopentolate, and tropicamide. Kung ano siya kanang descending order di siya. So as you can see na ang onset sa mydriasis and sa cycloplegia is different from each other. It can be na mag-una ang mydriasis kaysa sa cycloplegia. So that is why naasad tay mga precautions para sa cycloplegia, which I will mention later. So when is cycloplegia ready for refraction? The completeness of the cycloplegia is determined by assessing the residual accommodation by push-up test. So importante kining push-up test, okay? The mydriasis and cycloplegia do not complete at the same time. So, unlike homatropine and tropicamide, in the case of cyclopentolate, the cycloplegia is completed prior to mydriasis. Sa cyclopentolate, kay mag-una ang cycloplegia. So, ang imong hinumdumon, basta cyclopentolate, kay mag-una ang cycloplegia. So often when there is complete mydriasis, the cycloplegia is considered to be complete for the refraction. If pupillary dilatation is used to determine whether cycloplegia is at level of refraction, the refraction may be unnecessarily delayed or additional drug may be used unnecessarily. Meaning to say, if ang imo ra basis sa pupillary dilation kay ang if ang imo basis sa cycloplegic refraction kay ang pup- if ang if ang imo ra basis kay ang kuan ang dilation ra sa mata magiging dili na siya kuan dili na reliable ang imo results or dili siya truthful because of PD siya na wala pay cycloplegia, which is why na recommended or considered ang push-up test. Unsay push-up test mo na siya ang katong na ay ruler, di ba? Katong NPA. So, nganong makadetermine man din na ang NPA push-up test para ani ngano maka-determine man na siya. So, if mo duol na siya ang target sa ato patient katong sa NPA, if mo report na siya na kanang mo klaro siya as the target gets nearer, so meaning ana kanang naa pa siya'y accommodation, meaning to say wala pa ni take effect ang cycloplegia. So mo nang gamit kayo ang push-up test. So okay, next we have the main aim for cyclorefraction is to reveal the latent hyperopia that creates the problem. So okay, importante kay ni ang cyclorefraction labi na if na latent hyperopia ang ato patient. Okay, review ra ni siya sa types of hyperopia pero dili ko mo dig deeper ani because this is for cycloplegic refraction nga chapter, okay? So sa latent lang ta mag-focus. So what is latent hyperopia? This is the degree of total hyperopia that is corrected by the physiological tone of ciliary muscle. Bali mo ni siyang hyperopia amount na dili mi mo makit-an tungod kay gi-compensate siya sa ciliary muscle. Okay, we have the other indications. We have here for the old patients, the need of cyclorefraction decreases with age. It is stated here that the patient beyond 40 is not expected to have latent hyperopia. Then we have here for young adults, only if latent hyperopia is a problem ka mag-indicate ani. And then it's suspected if asthenopia or visual fatigue is complained for near work, but do not have uncorrected hyperopia and other refractive and binocular abnormalities. As for the children naman, if a children often preschool is seen with convergent strabismus or as we call it the pwede ba siya na accommodative esotropia to find if it is associated with accommodative component, di ba? Bago rin ko naging accommodative esotropia. Child having the significant esophoria should also be undergone cyclorefraction to find uncorrected hyperopia. So what are the other indications for the cyclorefraction? We have here the child uncooperative for dry retinoscopy. So ginatawag nato wet retinoscopy ang pag-refract under the cyclo, di ba? If the difference in refractive error of the eye is unusually greater, especially if ang imo record sa subjective refraction o sa objective refraction is layo ra kaayo silang agwat, pwede kay na ka mogamit og cyclorefraction in the case of oblique astigmatism to determine the exact orientation of power axis. So gamit sad ni siya sa mga patients na naay oblique astigmatism para mahibaw nimo asa gyud axis. If there is unusually high astigmatism detected during dry retinoscopy, so if taas kaayo ang astigmatism kanang dili normal for his or her age, if the retinoscopy finding is much greater than the expected in the case of hyperopic patient. So what I have said na taas ra kaayo ang retinoscopy finding. Bisan og makaklaro pa siya by subjective refraction. So nice ni siya na indicate, okay? Okay, let's proceed with the clinical procedures. As for the clinical procedures, many clinicians prefer to use topical anesthetic before instilling cycloplegic. And then practitioner must observe the recommended dosage. Okay, iogenic lymph. Some practitioners advise the use of meiotic drugs such as pilocarpine, meiotic, murag nahibaon dyan na meiotic drug, to hasten the departure of cycloplegic effect. So para mahawa dayon ni ang kining mga midriyas para madali ra ang recovery. So ang uban kay ilabot ngan og meiotic drug which is the pilocarpine. And then we have the refractive techniques of retinoscopy and the subjective refraction. So how do we prescribe spectacles? Lenses from cycloplegic findings is truly an art rather than an exact science, and thus great demands on the clinician's judgment, skill, and experience. Okay? Because ang kining sa cycloplegic findings good from the ako nang ato makuha nga ri kay need jud ni siya og skills mo na siyang makaingon jud ta na art ni siya. In accommodative esotropia, full amount of plus lens correction determined by retinoscopy should be prescribed in children younger than 4 years of age. So if younger than 4 years of age, you can prescribe full amount of plus lens. Patients with significant symptoms such as asthenopia or reading difficulty, the prescribing of lens powers closer to the cycloplegic refraction is indicated. Okay? And then we have here full amount of astigmatic correction in non-strabismic patients or myopic correction found in retinoscopy. So, mag-prescribe ka og full amount of astigmatic correction sa mga dili strabismic, sa mga dili ra ni strabismic ha, or myopic correction. Or if na ay myopia, okay, mag full amount ka og astigmatic correction found in retinoscopy or objective refraction. Then we have to reduce the amount of plus in patients with latent hyperopia but no esotropia. So if ang ato patient kay na siya latent hyperopia imo na discover pero dapat dili sad siya esotropia para maka-reduce ka ang amount, okay? If na siya esotropia, you don't have to reduce the amount of plus. Then we have here the reduction in power can often be made in accordance with guidelines ordinarily governing the prescribing of corrections for hyperopia. So you have here, mag-base ta aning sa reduction in power. Muna siya example sa guidance. So these are the amount deducted in hyperopia using 1% cyclopentolate. So for this is the age and this is the amount deducted for the hyperopia. So for example, ang nakitaan sa cyclorefraction kay let's say 20 years old to siya. And then naa siya for diopts nga cyclorefraction reading. So i-minus na siya so ang ma-result ana na lang niya kay 3.75. So depende na siya sa guidelines, okay? Okay, so when is partial correction advisable? So when some of the plus lens is subtracted from cycloplegic refraction, accommodation can more easily relax and allow spectacle lens to compensate for the refractive error. It also does not violently upset the habitual relationship existing between the accommodation and convergence. So as long as kanang dili maapektuhan ang accommodation o ang pag-converge sa ato patient, so anha advisable ang partial correction. And if it forces the patient to accommodate to overcome the uncorrected portion of the refractive error. So if ang partial correction kay maka-force siya sa patient para maka-accommodate to overcome the uncorrected portion of the refractive error, this partial correction can also be beneficial. So the same way sa kining between the accommodation and convergence, the same way aning sa if makarelax siya, so mo na siyang benefit sad sa partial correction. Mo nang i-advise sad siya usahay. So what are the adverse reactions? We also have here the drug allergy or hypersensitivity, usually unexpected because wala ta kabalo, labi na if mga first timers ang ato mga patient with the use of cycloplegics. So dira ra mo gawas ang drug allergy pag butang na nato. So hypersensitivity. And then toxicity usually in predictable pattern, okay? Sa kanang mga kabalo na ta sa mga side effects. So cycloplegics, for research purposes, they found that the most reliable measure of refractive error was autorefraction with cycloplegia, followed by cycloplegic with subjective refraction and cycloplegic retinoscopy. So again, ang first na pinaka-reliable is ang autorefraction with cyclo with, ang second kay cyclo with subjective, and third is cycloreti. So I guess that ends for my discussion with the cycloplegic refraction. I really hope that you have learned something out from my discussion, and that's it. Thank you.